I have in my hand new OM system TG-7 camera. Tough, shockproof, crushproof, waterproof, adventure ready, small pocket size camera. It would be very rude to test it at home, so I'm gonna take it out. Let's go. Welcome to Norway, Bergen. Let's shoot some photos with OM system TG-7. There's so much more to it than it being just a camera. It is built to withstand knocks and abuse, and it is a camera made for traveling with, especially really outdoor activities like hiking or water sports. But traveling, I think this is a great travel camera because of its size. Also, it looks quite pretty in red, and it is available in black if you don't like the snazzy red. Does this camera deliver good results? Is it a camera to use instead of your phone? Is it a camera to satisfy a professional photographer like me who's used to shooting with only big cameras? In this video I'll hopefully show you enough photo and video samples shot with this camera in a real world situations while traveling here in Bergen in Norway. I'll also talk about what this camera is good for, who it is good for. I'll talk about its features, its build, and in the end I'll give you my final thoughts to hopefully help you to decide if this little camera is for you or not. The biggest update from TG6 is really the name. It's not Olympus anymore, it's OM system. The changes, the new features are quite small. The biggest one probably is the USB-C charging port. There's few other features, software updates, but about those just in a moment. You can drop it and it will be fine. You can go underwater with it down to up to 15 meters. You can drop it from 2.1 meters. You can stand on it if you are up to 100 kilograms heavy, and it's also freeze-proof to -10 degrees Celsius. Also, the lens is made so it doesn't fog up when you go from warm to cold and vice versa. It's got very attractive form factor, and in theory it should deliver great results, but the problem is in its heart. The sensor, it's a very small sensor. It's 1/2.3 inch sensor. It's pretty much the same sensor size as your phone sensor, but without the smart bit of the phone. The first thing you should know about using this camera, it's daytime camera. This sensor is not suited for low light photography. Daytime, it's most of the time is okay. In the evening, in a nighttime, even with a tripod, it's not really made for that. The built-in lens, this is a 4.5 to 18 millimeter lens. This is 25 to 100 millimeter full frame equivalent. Very nice range, from wide angle to pretty good telephoto. A telephoto end is slightly soft no matter what you do. At the wide end, it's pretty decent all the time. The aperture is f2 at wide end and f4.9 at the fully zoomed in. The camera has got a lot of auto settings, and they all explain with text and even with images. If you literally know nothing about photography, you stick it in auto and it will get you going straight out of the box. Auto settings are okay, but the camera decides for you everything. Sometimes it helps to know how the exposure triangle works, the shutter speed, the aperture and ISO, to tweak things a little bit to get more out of this camera. However, you do not have full manual control. There is no M on the back dial. You do have aperture priority when you decide the aperture, and camera decides for you what the right shutter speed should be. You also do have a program auto when camera decides for you aperture and the shutter speed, and you can control all the settings like white balance and ISO manually. In A aperture priority and P program modes, you can also use the exposure compensation dial on top, which in some degree will control the shutter speed up and down. There's no dedicated shutter speed control in this camera. Big thing for this camera is the ability to shoot raw images. The raw images give you a little bit more room to get more out of the files in post-processing. But also the camera has got built-in lots of nice picture profiles like a vintage film look, black and white, sepia, and more. And you can actually shoot JPEG with your preferred picture profile from the camera and RAW file at the same time. So you do get JPEGs already processed by the camera with the look you like, and the RAW files to process later. So JPEGs files can be used straight away on social media or whatever. They don't need usually much editing or any editing, and the RAW files you can process more when you get back home. The autofocus is very simple. It kind of works. It does work, but it is very simple. You do have a full frame focusing, so a camera decides what's the most important part of the image for you to focus on. It has got a spot focusing and also very flaky tracking. It does have a face priority setting, so it detects the humans in the frame, but there's no eye tracking. It does work. Nothing like major or groundbreaking, but it does work okay. You do have a manual focusing with this camera. You can control the manual focusing with the up and down arrows buttons on the back of the camera. This camera can do macro photography, and a very good macro photography. This lens can literally focus 1 centimeter away from the subject, so pretty much touching your subject with the end of the lens. You do get a macro and super macro, like a microscope function, so you can get really close to explore the world in a different way, in a macro way. However, not just like everything else with this camera, you do need more light to get the best out of macro photography. There's few accessories available for this camera. You do have to pay for them all separately. They all extra cost. Firstly is this. It's called Light Guide. This is a little LED diffuser light for macro photography. This attaches to the front of the camera like a lens. And holding the info button in the back of the camera, you can switch the LED light on to light your subject. So when you get really close with the camera to your subject doing macro photography, you get a nice and even ring light. You get this ring light flash diffuser. This is slightly different to the other one because this diffuses the flashlight, not actually the LED light. So this one, you have to enable the flash in the camera to be able to shoot with this diffused ring light. You also have got some lens attachments. The proper lenses which screw onto camera. They add not only a bit of size but weight. But for these, to attach these to the TG-7, you need to buy this little ring which attaches to the camera or the bottom of the lens to be able to put it on the camera. So this screws on here and attaches onto the camera like so. And this is a telephoto lens. By default, it gives you a big circle in a view. You have to enable the accessory in the camera, and that basically zooms in past that black circle, so you get an extra reach with this camera. So standard, it's a 18mm, 100mm full frame equivalent. With this lens, you get a 170mm equivalent zoom telephoto reach. And I also got this here. This is the proper circular fisheye. Apparently OM system, they say this is designed for underwater photography. The only thing I can think why fisheye lens would be suitable for underwater photography is that because it's so wide, everything will be in focus. You don't have to worry about the focusing when underwater. This is proper circular fisheye. Basically, when you attach this to the camera, you do get a circular view of the world. So not only distorts the perspective, everything is round, but also in a circle. You can zoom in to past the circle basically, so you don't get the black edges, but then the picture is still very distorted. All these lenses, all these accessories are waterproof as well, so if you're taking camera underwater, so they are suitable for underwater usage. One of the new features is a time lapse. You could do before time interval, just images basically spaced by time, like time lapse, but on the images you have to assemble it by yourself. This now assembles it for you into a video file in the camera, ready to go. If you really wanted to do or had to do nighttime photography, I'd recommend using live view composite mode. This is something which is only present with OM system and Lumix cameras. This is the feature which records changes in light, not the long exposure as such. It records multiple images and only the changes of light. So in this camera you can't change the shutter speed, so you can't go long exposures, but you can use live view composite to combine multiple images into one, and they are pretty smooth considering how much noise you get from this small sensor when using it at night. Another new feature of this camera is the construction mode. This is fully automatic, foolproof mode to specifically photograph building sites or construction site. Yeah, it makes this camera targeting the building trade because it is tough, and that mode actually makes it easier or makes it possible to shoot pictures of specifically construction sites in a difficult conditions. Even in that mode, it removes dust from the pictures. There's a dust floating in the air. It can be removed automatically by the camera. Foolproof, tough camera for the building trade. The camera can record a GPS data, the log, there's a little switch on top to enable it. This actually records the not only geographical location but also temperature and elevation. And the nice little feature is that with the info button in the back, you can, when the camera is off, you can enable the compass and the temperature as well to tell you where you are. But OM system tell you that this is not for life-saving situations. It's a cool gadget, not a life-saving tool. It does video, of course, it does video 4K up to 30 frames per second, which is recording now at. Also the sound, obviously you can hear the sound. This is recorded straight to camera. It's got a microphone built in if you want to record yourself talking to camera. Unfortunately, autofocusing is not brilliant, pulses sometimes, or it doesn't latch on to face, but that's kind of standard really for the camera like this. It does also 120 frames per second in full HD and 240 frames per second slow motion in 720p. Not groundbreaking, but I guess okay. New thing for TG-7 is also vertical video. What happens now when you record a vertical video in the camera turns the file for you, so when you take it off to your phone to post on TikTok or Instagram Reels, the video is ready to be posted without the need for rotating it. The build, it's small. That's definitely a first thing. It's 249 grams in weight with the battery memory card inserted in it. Very laid out buttons, very simple. It's all made out of tough plastic and metal, obviously waterproof, so it's all sealed. The HDMI and USB-C door and the battery and the memory card doors have not only the button to open it but also a lock, so they're not opened accidentally when you're using it underwater. The buttons and everything is just literally very easily labeled and laid out, and it is a very easy to use little camera. There's no strap loops, but I don't think it's a camera the size of it is suitable for attaching a strap to it, like a neck strap. It's got this silver thing here on the side to attach the supply, the wrist strap. So who is this camera for, and the price, the value for money? This camera, no doubt, is for someone outdoorsy, someone who is an adventurer, someone who does hiking, biking, maybe kayaking, paddle boarding, someone who goes out and do things outside which don't really suit using a smartphone, expensive smartphone. This you can drop, you can dunk it in the water, you can get it dirty and muddy and it will just wash and you won't get scratch on it. It is a tough camera for someone who doesn't want to damage their phone when they're out and about. I also think, in my personal opinion, this is a great camera for traveling with. Small pocket size, light, easy to use, okay for capturing your everyday memories, everyday snap, point and shoot camera. It's a good camera for an absolute beginner, someone who is just starting with photography, or simply a budding photographer, someone who is 10 years old and wants to take their own photos and explore the macro world, but without the worry of the camera being dropped or get dirty. Generally speaking, it's a good startup camera for anyone who wants to detach the camera from their phone and have the separate camera. Price, it retails for £499 in UK or $549 in US. Not very cheap, but for any brand new current camera, pretty good price. What you are paying for here is not only the camera, but the toughness, the rugged design, the underwater capabilities. Is something pretty much unusual for a camera to be able to do that. This is the main selling point of this camera. Good value for money if you are going to use it regularly. If you are going to use it, you're going to use it once a year. This is too expensive. Stick with your phone, but don't drop it or get it wet. Conclusion. It is very simple but tough camera. It's not the camera you probably win any photography competitions with. You might do if the subject is right. It's different. This camera is designed to be fun with. This is a camera designed to record your adventures, your memories, to record the moment. It's not the camera to compete with DSLR or mirrorless cameras. It's not the camera, I would say, even as far as not the camera to be creative with. You can be creative with it if you want to, but the results it delivers are more snapshots than anything else. It does fit the purpose. It's designed for exactly that. It's the camera to take with you and have fun with, not the camera to be a burden or hassle to shoot with. It's a great camera for outdoor activities, for your biking and hiking and water sports, especially if you are even doing light diving and you want to do some underwater photography, fish, macro, whatever you want to do pictures of underwater. This can do it. It's okay. It's a fun camera to use. It's definitely one to not replace other cameras or a phone, but detach your phone from the camera, and when you don't want to damage your phone or get it wet and smashed. This does a lot of things, and it is a fun camera to use, but not one to replace your big camera if you have one. If you are a complete beginner, this is perfect, fun camera to shoot with. One to give your kid without worrying they're gonna damage it. It's a one camera to stick it in auto and just basically capture your memories easily. I do recommend it exactly for that. Great memory capture camera. And this is it from me. I hope this video was in some way helpful or informative. If it was, please give me the thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram. Please consider subscribing, and bye from Bergen in Norway. The thing for this camera is ability to shoot raw files. And there is a helicopter. And as always, as I always say, never ever shoot outside, because always someone's gonna make noise. And this time we do have helicopter. It has got very attractive form factor, and in theory it should deliver great results, but the problem is it's in seagull this time. Seagull is making noise.